Let's get you a look at our starting five for both teams tonight. We'll start with our Central Arkansas. There we mentioned Jordan Howard, the 5'11 senior. He can light it up, averaging better than 23 points. Kamba, a senior, along with Thatch Unruh, also DeAndre Jones, and the freshman Hayden Koval, a 7-footer. So he will be the big man inside for the Bears. As for Lamar Cardinals, let's check out their starting five as they take the floor here in the Montaigne Center. We expect to see Torrey Noel, the senior, a guard, along with Jory Boscia, along with James Harrison, who's kind of won a starting spot here for the Cardinals, the 6'5 senior. Josh Zinkor, we mentioned, and of course Colton Wybroad, who is one of the double-double leaders in the Southland Conference. We mentioned Cardinals can't do what they did on Wednesday night, which was open cold. So we'll see if they can get something going. Look for them to go inside, of course. Kind of a height mismatch there with the big 7-footer.
And right there, the Mr. Double-Double, their offensive weapon right there, Colton Wybroad. He's been the most consistent player for Lamar Cardinals throughout this season. You want to feed him the ball early and get him going offensively. Guy who
averages better than 14 points. Nice one from the outside that time by Kamba, and Central Arkansas, much like the Cards, Lemont, they don't have a problem pulling the trigger outside the arc at all.
No, they're known for shooting three-pointers, and unfortunately, they can live by the three-pointer, they can die by the three-pointer, and they want to be able to come here in the Montaigne Center and try to find their rhythm from the arc.
Going to get a travel call that time. It's going to go against Nzikor down under. Yeah, you mentioned live by it, die by it, and that's exactly what happened to them the last couple of games. I mean, they hit 5 of 19 when they lost to Southeastern, 6 of 22 against Sam Houston on Wednesday night outside the arc. Still the top three-pointing shooting team in the Southland Conference.
Absolutely.
Turnover. Cardinals will take advantage of it. Got the numbers on the other end, but they kick it outside. And for the three, no good. Is Boscia. Cardinals look like they're going to play a little man-to-man.
Oh,
wow, the big guy outside.
Well, we talked about them down being known for hitting the three-pointer, and the big man Hayden knocking down 7-foot freshman, knocking down the three-pointer. And that's what Central Arkansas is known for. They're known for knocking down the three-pointer and setting the tone. Lamar cannot get caught up in that chess match with them as far as going back-to-back with three-pointers.
Yeah, but you don't expect the three-pointer to come from the 7-footer. I mean, right? And he's coming off of an ankle injury as well. Good move inside that time. And Nzikor with the easy layup. Saturday afternoon crowd here in the Montaigne Center. Outside, wide open, but can't make it. But second chance for Lamar. Wasn't like it was a tough rebound. Looks like it's going to be Nzikor, maybe Harrison. It's going to be against Nzikor. That'll be his first. That'll be a first against the Cardinals.
And at times throughout the season, Josh Nzikor has been outstanding from an athletic perspective, Dan. And defensively, when he goes against guys that's matched up with his size, he's listed at 6'7", 6'8", and he's going against a 7-footer. He struggled defensively. He's known to be athletic on the offensive board. But let's watch him throughout this first half as he go against the freshman, the 7-footer.
Easy basket that time for Kamba. Averages right at 12-plus a game. And Nzikor uses his athleticism, drives on the 7-footer.
Outstanding move there by Josh Nzikor, the Southland Conference Player of the Week. Has one of the better first steps there in the front court throughout this conference. As you just saw in that last play, beat the 7-footer to the basket. Outstanding play.
Unruh with the three-pointer. Again, Central Arkansas, they'll test you from outside. Nice runner by Troy Noel.
The tempo is starting to pick up here offensively for both teams. Central Arkansas, Dan, right now doing what they normally do is hit three-pointers. But Lamar is trying to keep up with that tempo.
Cardinals might have gotten away with a foul that time, but quickly back the other way is Boscia. Tries to go off the glass, can't. Weisbrod with a nice right-hander on the left-hand side. Going to have a foul called. Trying to figure out what's going on. I think it was against Weisbrod.
As Nick Gar comes in, he's going to bring that three-point threat for Lamar. He's known to be knocking down the three-pointers and also the all-time leading scorer from a three-point standpoint. The last home game they was here, he surpassed and made that honor by being the all-time three-point leader. So anticipate him to come in this game and light it up from downtown for Lamar.
Could be the answer to Howard, but the Bears decide why not take it inside. Unruh adding to his point totals early here. Weisbrod, nice move to the basket, a nice feed too, and Zikor watching for it.
And if you're Coach Price, that's the blueprint right there. You want to be able to get Josh and Zikor away from the block, be able to push out that 7-footer, but you want to get your dominant player in Colton Weisbrod on the backside to be able to finish off that layup. Excellent execution rail from the front court.
Nice kick out by the 7-footer. Struggle for it there on the baseline. It's going to go to UCA. Nice hustle. We're going to have a timeout called. Tight one here. Not a whole lot of defense so far.
Not happy you calling that.
I know. I have to point it out every game just so everybody knows. But no, he goes by Tick. And, of course, fourth year at Lamar, but you can see by his record, he's a guy who's been around basketball 13 years as a head coach in D1. That includes UNO, Memphis, McNeese, and now here at Lamar, where his record is 56-59. Looking for number 57 this afternoon. Team trailing by 1 here early. Cardinals have not hesitated going inside against the 7-footer, and they've been successful.
Yeah, feed the beast, feed the Southland Conference Player of the Week, and that's Josh Zikor out of Mesquite, Texas. The young man's very athletic. I like to see his back to the basket. Good move there against the 7-footer.
UCA with an open shot on the 3. It's not going to go. Got a little pushing going on underneath, but I think the foul is probably going to go against actually Nick Garth.
Cardinal foul, Nick Garth is first, the team second.
That'll be his first on the afternoon.
Tanner Schmidt in the lineup for the Bears.
Cardinals, I guess, what we're looking at, they're going to have to play some tighter defense on these guys, right? Not give them the open look from the outside?
It's tough. I mean, it's very tough. With Central Arkansas setting screens at the top and always rotating and moving around, it's very tough from a defender standpoint to be able to defend that three-pointer. What you can do is, if you're Lamar, is hope they miss, and if they miss, be great on the board as far as rebounding.
And that's the thing I was going to say. You can't give up the rebound to these guys because they'll do a second chance. Every time they can get a second chance, they'll take it. Tanner Smith going to go to the line. He'll shoot 2 for Central Arkansas. It's a pretty good free throw shooting team, too. 70% from the line on the year. And again, if you're not familiar, this is a team that beat California in Berkeley last month and then scared number 18 UCLA, took them to overtime. And they've just kind of fallen on tough times here as they got right before they got into conference play, and they've struggled a bit.
Central Arkansas is a very disciplined, well-coached team. Got a lot of good leaders on that ball club, and especially with Jordan Howard being out of Arizona. He likes to light it up for the Bears team.
Nice move by Garth. Finds an open spot there. Hits it from the top of the key. Cardinals up by 3. Garth with the rebound. Pushing it up quickly. Colton Weisbrod looked at it. Here's a guy who we never saw take a 3, but the last few games has not hesitated putting it up. That time is a little strong. Boscia won't take it. Garth's mad. He felt like maybe he should have taken it.
And that's a smart play there by Boscia. Let's reset at the top of the key. Let's get back organized offensively in the half-court set.
Yeah, going to be a shoulder into the defensive player that time. And Noel will be called for that one.
Jory Frenchwood is coming to the game. He's a senior point guard. And throughout the season, Dan, Coach Tick Price has substituted the 2 young men, Torrey Noel as well as Jory Frenchwood, from a point guard standpoint. Last home game, Joy started, and this home game, Torrey Noel is starting. So he wants to find a consistency at the point guard position, because if going into the conference play now and going into January and February, it starts at the point guard position. They have to lead this team, Lamar's team, in order for them to be successful here at home and on the road.
Cardinals again going inside strong. That's Foster. Jordan Foster, freshman out of Lafayette, Louisiana, starting to see more and more playing time for Tick Price along with Avery Sullivan. And I guess if you had a hit on these two guys, the young guys, is they both have been a little bit aggressive. I mean, they've had a tendency to pick up fouls fairly quickly in games, especially Sullivan. And again, I guess a little bit of that's just that wanting to be aggressive and inexperienced, being young.
Mm-hmm. And also trying to find themselves. They're still trying to figure their role out on this team as freshmen. You have Jordan Foster, 6'9" freshman there at the free throw line. His skill set is a little different from the other freshmen. And Sullivan. Sullivan is more of a big man presence down low. He's a better defender. We have Jordan Foster. He can attack you more on the offensive side of the ball.
A little more finesse versus the bruiser mentality. Well, and you got two kids too, I'm sure, with their size in high school, they were able to push people around. When you're 6'9" in high school, 6'8", a little bit different when you get Division I. Cardinals trying to keep up on the man-to-man, but Central Arkansas has got a bit cold here from the field. Started off hot, but they are now at 38%. Let's see if they can improve. We just talked about that. I think that was a no-brainer. I mean, he didn't have much choice that time for Foster except to reach in.
Yeah. Speaking of Cole, right now it looks like Jordan Howard doesn't have any points.
Nope,
that I know
does
of.
not. Has
0
not
points.
scored a basket. I think he's taken 3 shots to this point.
Yeah, and the conference leading scorer normally scores 23 points a game. Is off to a sluggish start here on the road at the Montaigne Center. So you got to give credit to the Cardinals defensively, because for some reason they are really attacking against Jordan Howard, and he hasn't found his rhythm on the road.
Well, I would think, too, I mean, if you're Lamar and you're coming off that 10-point loss to UNO, I'm pretty sure you got I don't want to say a chewing, but I'm pretty sure there was some strong words from Tick Price on the bus ride home and in the last couple of days about what happened there at UNO, and a team that most people would have not thought had a chance to beat the Cardinals this year, and did it by 10. That you're going to come out and you're going to play some defense like that. Nice play by the freshman right there for the block. Boscia, double move, and it goes.
Excellent job on both sides of the court for the Cardinals. You have the block by the freshman and Foster, and nice finesse move at the end, finishing up with Boscia, the defensive specialist for the Cardinals.
Cardinals can't get a handle on the first rebound, but they do get it on the second. Cardinals wanted to push it quickly. Boscia going to pick up the foul, trying to kick the pass over to Nick Garth on the wing. The team to the Sweet 16. Okay. I believe that was back in 2008. He's been at Central Arkansas for the last 4 years and is 25-80 at Central Arkansas. Also played at UCA for a couple of years after he played for Eddie Sutton at Arkansas back in the day, and had a very famous teammate, probably the most famous alumnus of Central Arkansas. You want to guess who it is? Be a wild shot. If you knew this one, I'd be very surprised. Yeah. You'll know who it is, but I didn't know he played at Central Arkansas. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen of the NBA Bulls. Yeah. Played. In fact, he and Russ Pennell played together at UCLA for a couple of years. Cardinals up 21-16, as you can see, just over 11 to play. Bears have gone ice cold. They cannot buy a bucket. Got the rebound there and didn't even have to rebound. Interception. Trying to go coast to coast, doesn't happen. Outside, Matthew Mondesir getting his first points of the afternoon. A freshman out of L.A. Garth trying to get his first 3 of the afternoon. Doesn't. As Lamont said, there's a guy who is now the all-time three-point leader for Lamar.
Again, congratulations to the young man. Nick Garth has consistently worked hard and fought through that every year as far as making three-pointers. He, had some nights, Dan, you and I worked the game where he had struggled from the three-point line.
Yeah.
But it is nice where he was on fire. And for him to surpass that and become the all-time three-point leader for the Cardinals in this program is an outstanding accomplishment for the young man out of Houston, Texas.
198 three-pointers in his career. Becomes the all-time leader at Lamar, surpasses Matt Sundblad in 23 fewer games. But that's the inside game right there for the Cardinals. Colton Weisbrod, senior out of Nederland, Texas. Interesting story as well. First went to University of New Orleans, transferred to Port Arthur State College, local junior community college, played there before coming to Tick Price at Lamar, becoming a star for the Cardinals. Cardinals
are struggling right now offensively, at least from the three-point line. I think they need to get back to the formula, Dan, with what they had early in the first half, and that was feeding the ball to their big mans down low. I know they have the freshman in there now, looks like Sullivan, but you still have Mr. Double-Double, Colton Weisbrod. You got to feed him as well.
Pinal gets an elbow to the face and goes down, but is up now. Cardinals can't convert inside close, so why not go outside? And Corey Boscia.
What he sees from a statistic series standpoint. But tonight, right now, this afternoon, we have a very competitive game. Both teams still trying to figure each other out offensively. And as things start to settle down, let's see who steps up. Is it going to be the three-point shooting from Central Arkansas, or is it going to be the front court play of Lamar Cardinals?
Central Arkansas bringing in a little more height there is Airden Widener.
Fouls on Aaron Widener. That's his first.
He's a sophomore out of Bozeman, Montana. Checks in and picks up his first foul, but he's trying to give, I think what you're seeing is Coach Pinnell trying to give himself a little bit more height in there. Widener's 6'7". So he'll pick up Colton Weisbrod.
And on the flip side, it looks like Lamar goes with a little bit more height as well, going with Atwood, number 15. He comes in the game. He's been getting more reps and more minutes this season. Then he comes in with James Harrison, the transfer senior, known for his three-point shooting for the Cardinals as well. So he comes with a little bit more size on the outside to be able to defend the Cardinals from defend the Bears from the three-point line.
Yeah, Harrison, number 1, as you mentioned, had a terrific night against Houston Baptist. Earlier in the week, he had 22 points. Trying to drive it in that time is TJ Atwood, and he's stuffed.
Good pass.
Wide open. That's a foul you got to take. I mean, you don't have much choice. The 7-footer is going to slam that home if you don't put a hand up there.
Yeah, now I want to say the 7-footer is leading the score right now.
Jordan Foster
for
and
the
Jordan
Bears.
Foster return for the Cardinals.
I know he knocked down a three-pointer with that. That's 6 points. 5 points, and if he hit this, it would be 6. So the freshman is stepping up on the road for the Bears. Outside of the Bears struggling from the field, this young man is really taking a lot on his shoulders offensively.
Yeah, as you mentioned, number 1 in the game is Howard, and Howard cold this afternoon. He is 0 for 7 and has taken a seat, the leading scorer in the Southland Conference. Weisbrod working it in, trying to take advantage of height. We'll see. Believe the basket will count. And the foul will go against number 23. Yeah, go ahead.
Dan, that play right there sums up Colton Weisbrod, what he's all about. He's the workhorse. He's the, you can see in this replay here, he backs up the defender. Then he turns around, faces the defender. Strong upper body strength there to be able to finish off that play and get the and one.
Brick on the free throw. Weisbrod on the afternoon, though, now has 8 points. Harrison, good defense. Nice rebound. Pulled down quickly by Foster, who's getting a number of minutes this afternoon. While Nzikor takes a bit of a breather. Weisbrod driving the basket, going to pick up the foul.
Fair foul on Hayden Govell is first, takes 5th.
Timeout called on the floor with 7:43 left to play. Again, the
It shows that they get off to a fast start in the new year.
Yep.
Every year.
It's a great way. Weisbrod at the line. Chance to open up the lead a bit for the Cardinals. So look at the stats. 6'5" senior. Nearby Nederland. So it's a great chance to play in front of family and friends. That's one thing Tick Price has really worked hard at Lamar University, is trying to recruit local players. That's something that most people said they'd like to see when he came in 4 years ago, and he's done a great job. He's got 4 players from the immediate area on the squad this year.
And that's huge for the program, Dan. Once this program continues to grow and build here in Beaumont, Texas, having local talent speaks volumes for the youth, and it also speaks volumes to the community as they bring success here to the Montaigne Center.
Push it out to Boscia. He doesn't take it. Harrison will. He misses it. Inside's Foster. Goes to the floor. Wide open on the wing and bearing it is Aaron Widenar. That's his second basket of the afternoon. Nice move that time by Jordan Foster. He could be a real force in the future for this team.
Once he develops his body a little bit more, and he's only a freshman, but once he gets a chance to hit that weight room and develop his body, his upper body strength, he can be a force for this Cardinals in the near future.
Harrison cold, but underneath with the follow, Boscia, and he's going to get the foul as well.
Joey Boscia at the right place at the right time. The senior guard, 6'5", was able to get the rebound on the backside of that bounce off the rim and follow up with that layup. Boscia is known to be a defensive specialist for the Cardinals throughout the season. His career here in Lamar, you can just see him at the right place at the right time, catching the ball at the highest point and finishing strong with that layup.
That makes 4 on the afternoon for Boscia. Cardinals struggling with free throws at this point, and that can certainly come back to haunt you later against this team.
Absolutely.
Big guy outside. He misses again. Weisbrod might be called for over the back that time. Looked clean. Maybe it was the body. No. Actually, it's going to be against Thatch Underoos for Central Arkansas, and we're in the 1-1, so we'll go back to the other end here. And Weisbrod, you can see in that, Weisbrod's clean on that.
Absolutely. He had a chance. He had 2 hands on the basketball, so he had to go against the Bears.
Weisbrod 5 of 7 from the free throw, from the floor, I should say. And it's now 2 of 3 on his free throws. He's already at 11 points, and we always mention, you talked about, his MO is hustle. There's a guy who has 5 double-doubles, second in the Southland Conference this season. And what really always surprises me, and I don't know about you, Lemon, I mean, you get into the Southland Conference and you start, playing teams that you're very familiar with. Cole Weisbrod's not going to surprise anybody. I mean, the way he plays, and you would think that you would struggle to get any points at all. There's Howard's first points of the night, and, of course, from deep.
Speaking of points, Jordan Howard, Southland Conference top scorer of the conference, and he nails his first three-pointer on the road here in the Montaigne Center. The Bears need his effort and need that type of play from him. They're going to get back into this game this afternoon.
Boscia going to be called for turning it over, palming the ball. Noel will come out. In will come Garth. Bears making a few substitutions of their own. Number 55, DeAndre Jones, back into the ball game. There goes Howard running. Takes to the floor, but he misses his hook. Frenchwood to the trailer. Sullivan in a bit of trouble. That's a risky pass, but Boscia works it, tries to spin it, but it's nowhere close. Sullivan stripped. Wow. Jones has it knocked out of his hands. Weisbrod's going to be called on that one.
Cardinal fouls Zori Bosha, his first, team 6.
In fact, it's going to go against Bosha instead of Weisbrod. That should be Bosha's.
And it put the Bears
first.
in the one-on-one position as well, so they had the opportunity until halftime to be able to earn some points on the free throw line.
James Harrison returns for the Cardinals. He replaces Zori Bosha.
Bosha will come out. Harrison will come back in for Lamar. Jones knocking down the free throw, making it a 2-point game right at the 5-minute mark here in the first half.
And we anticipated this, Dan, coming into this afternoon's game. Both teams going back and forth, up and down offensively. Whoever got out to a fast, hot start, we knew it was going to take the lead. But right now, as things start to settle down before halftime, it's very competitive.
Absolutely. Nick Garth with a nice kiss off the glass there. I mean, that's not something you normally see from him, but good move. 7-footer outside, pulls it again. That's the second three-pointer for the 7-footer.
Impressive to see a 7-footer freshman.
Hayden Koval.
Yeah, ice in his veins, knocking out his second three-pointer here on the road.
Freshman out of Prosper, Texas. Averages right at 8-2 a game. Wow. Sullivan wants to work it inside against the 7-footer. Goes with the right-hand hook, and it won't fall.
It's one thing you got to give credit to the Bears. They're continuing to attack the Cardinals defensively. They're always keeping the ball pushing down the court. They have not walked the ball at the court thus far in this first half.
Nice drive to the glass by Howard that time, or Jones, I should say. Nice kiss. Well, the other thing they do so well, Limon, is they spread you out because they're not going to pack in the paint. They're just not going to do it. They're outside shooters. They like to play from three-point land. But that opens up the lanes to drive.
Open up the lanes, and it wears down the defenders, because if you're the Cardinals, and you see throughout this first half, Coach Price has done a lot of rotation as far as going to his bench. So, you know, if this guy's a little fatigued or not right now in this first half, being on the road the last 2 games, but the Bears are going to continue to attack them offensively throughout the second half, I believe.
Tight ball game, just the way we expected it would be for Jordan Howard. That's his first three-pointer of the night. In fact, that's his first points, I think, of the night. Actually, I guess he probably, I think that's right. First 3 points of the night.
And if you're Coach Price, you can't be happy with what you're seeing as his team's starting to fall off defensively and kind of falling asleep and allowing the Bears to be able to get back into this game, take the lead before halftime.
Yeah, because they certainly have had some chances to kind of spread this one out a little bit. But here they are, find themselves down by 1, under 3 to play in the half. Garth looking for a shot, can't find it. Quick hands that time by Jones for UCA, but unfortunately stepped on the line, so it'll be Lamar's ball.
And I was going to say something about Jones, a freshman, 5'11", point guard, DeAndre Jones. He's been very impressive, not just pushing the ball down the court for the Bears, but also defensively, playing the passing lane and frustrating the Cardinals offensively.
A little bit of conversation here about what they think in the Southwest. Rivals a lot of SEC facilities.
We got to give credit to the band, too. One of the top bands in the country, as well as in the conference, Southland Conference. I enjoy hearing the band pregame and also during the halftime. So the Cardinals have a really good band director and band team, too.
And here for the entertainment, of course. Halftime, we'll catch up on some of the other Southland Conference action going on.
Good move.
Colt Weisbrod with a good move, but a good block that time as well. Wow. That's some physical activity going on there.
Again, I tell you, the young man, DeAndre Jones, freshman out of Idaho, man, he's given up his body. He's been very aggressive defensively. Playing the passing lane, just been active and pesty against Frenchwood and Torrey Noel, as you can see right here. Great, awesome move there. First step by Colt Weisbrod, but you can see the defender,
Schmidt.
DeAndre Jones, is giving up his body.
Schmidt made the move in, kind of pressured him a little bit, but like you said, Jones, to me, you know, I think it's that same old issue. You know, the guy who has to give away some height is going to make it up with heart a lot of times, and he, to me, kind of looks like one of those kids. Good move by Boscia. Takes it out of the hands of Howard from behind.
Tori Noel in the Cardinal lineup. Places Joey Frenchwood.
Frenchwood will come out. Noel will come in for the Cardinals with just over 2 minutes left to play here in the half.
And I don't know about you, Dan. I don't want to put too much emphasis on this, but it's been a lot of substitution at the point guard position. I talked about it earlier in the first half, how Coach Price has switched up his starting lineup with Tori Noel and Joey Frenchwood. And throughout this first half, he's done a lot of substitution. Give credit more to the freshmen and DeAndre Jones putting pressure on the two young men. Jordan Howard's starting to warm up before half.
Well, and Howard, that to me shows you the kind of shooter Howard is. Where he will show you the outside shot, but he can come into the lane and he makes just one move and he's open. And I think that's part of the reason the guy can average 23. It's not just the three-point shots. Noel with an open look, but it's short and soft. Bears quickly back the other way with that three-point advantage. And there's a look at those defensive rebounds, and I think that speaks a lot of volume here in this first half. Howard is going to be called for the charge against the big guy.
Big man's taking up, the freshman stepping up. Sullivan taking the charge, 6'8" freshman, taking a huge charge there defensively for the Cardinals.
James Anderson in the lineup for the Cardinals.
Sullivan getting a lot of playing minutes here. He averages about 9 a game, but he's certainly seen a lot here. Josh Nzikor, on the other hand, has been noticeably absent from the Cardinal lineup.
Yeah, he actually, Josh Nzikor, Southland Conference Player of the Week, went to the bench early. He hasn't returned back.
Weistrod trying to force it inside. That's what I was talking about earlier, that everybody knows Colton Weisbrod's MO, that he's going to force the ball inside. He's going to be physical and try to push it inside. And that's a good example of the 7-footer, two guys collapsing inside, knowing that it's coming and being able to get the block. It's amazing to me that he gets as many points as he gets because they double him, triple him, and he still finds a way. That's a nice move right there by Noel.
Scored a basket, Tori Noel. Bear foul on Hayden Koval. That's his second personal
Makes the
foul.
move. A bit of a prayer, but it goes in. And he'll be shooting for the and 3.
Get a chance to tie this game up with 37 seconds to go here in the first half. Coach Tick Price is pacing the sideline as he wants his team to at least tie this game up or take the lead at half.
UCA, I should say, will get a chance to a little bit of a differential between shot clock and game clock. About 6 seconds. See if they work for the final shot. Not going to go early. They're going to pace themselves. There's Jones. Surprised Koval didn't take it. Rainbow from Schmidt doesn't go. So the Cardinals have to push it quickly. Noel a little bit out of control, but number 10 is going to be called with a foul. That's Matthew Kamba. Kamba's going to be called since we are over the limit. It'll be Weisbrod going to the line. Weisbrod, the leading scorer here for the Cardinals. In fact, leading scorer of the game with 12. Makes the first of the 1-and-1. 13 points. You see 5 of 10 from the floor. 3 of 6 from the line. Make that 4 of 7 from the line. Full court press by the Cardinals.
Oh, here, the big man.
Sullivan puts it up, can't make it. Patterson is there with the rebound, but time is, they lost to UCLA, but they took them to overtime. You're talking about the number 18 team in the nation. But it was a little bit of a different look, too, for UCA when they were playing number 18 UCLA because they are playing without Ethan Lee tonight, who was also one of those guys that can contribute, out with a thumb injury. Come back very quickly, get things started here, tie it up at 41. See if the Cardinals, what they talked about at half. They obviously didn't say stop shooting the three.
Oh, no. Especially with James Harrison. He's known to light it up from downtown for the Cardinals throughout the season.
Harrison, number one of those players that didn't start for Tick Price early in the season, but found his place. Interesting story. He's a senior. Played at 3 different places before he found a home here at Lamar, but his latest was from Tennessee Martin. There's Howard. We told you, he may have had 5 points in the first half, but it wouldn't be out of the question for him to have 20 in the second half.
And he got going late in the the first half with about 5 minutes to go before halftime. He found his rhythm. He knocked down a three-pointer, was able to hit a field goal. And it seems like right now he wants to get going early in the second half for the Bears.
Weisbrod going to be called for the travel going up against the big 7-footer, trying to walk it back. As we mentioned, Lamar went on the road to New Orleans, ice cold in the first half against the Privateers. Fell down by 18, pulled it back to 4, but could never reel him in. Wound up losing by 10. UCLA coming out hot here in the first half.
And the Bears are starting to find their confidence on the road. They're starting to attack the Cardinals, as you see Tick Price take a quick timeout because they need to regroup defensively. They switched up the defense.
University of Central Arkansas on the extreme left-hand side. That's Russell Pennell, the head coach. They made the drive to Southeast Texas from Conway, Arkansas. And as you can guess from the name, it's in Central Arkansas, Conway. And, pretty close to the same student population size. Lamar, a little bit smaller. They're right at 12. Lamar, I think, is about 15, a little shy of 15,000 students. And Zecor back to the bench early.
Got into some foul trouble there. Get called for the offense.
That gives him 3 here early in the second half. And UCA coming out hot. They are 3 for 3. Will they make it 4 for 4? Not quite. But going down to the floor is Thatch Unruh. It's going to be an offensive foul on him.
And the reason why the Bears have been successful here in the second half is that they're attacking the basket. They're still spreading out the Cardinals defensively, but they're going into those passing lanes. Those lanes to the basket. And what they want to do is take the high percentage shot, and it's forcing the Cardinals on their heels and just not helping them get going in the second half defensively.
Lamar with some substitutions. Harrison in. There he is. Look up 3, and he's short again, but Howard was there. Can't hold on to it. It's going to be out on UCA.
And offensively for the Cardinals, they're flat, Dan.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They're too many jump shots. They haven't really found their rhythm in the second half, in the half-court set. A lot of Colton Weisbrod, their most consistent player throughout the season and throughout this game. And if he doesn't score, that's pretty much it.
But I think to your point, exactly. That was where they were successful early in the first half, was going inside. Then they chose not to and kind of got away from them. Weisbrod gets it back in there. Nice play that time by the freshman.
Well, what happened?
Foster.
What happened then? They start playing more of what Central Arkansas was playing, as far as going after the three-pointer and shooting a lot of jump shots. So they adapted to that, and before you know it, Central Arkansas started coming back into this game, and it's just been a one-man show with Colton Weisbrod. But they got to find a way to get some rhythm offensively. They got to get more players active scoring the basketball.
Central Arkansas going with man-to-man, hanging pretty tight with the Cardinals, and already a number of fouls here in the second half. Howard is going to the bench. And that is not what Coach Pennell wants to see for his leading scorer. He doesn't want to have him sitting next to him. He wants him in the game. Howard tries to go to the basket.
Perfect example in that last series right there. Just too many guys standing around just watching one guy make a play. You got to move, keep the offense flowing and move around to be able to open up some opportunities for different players.
Nice pass behind the back there by Jones. believe it or not, number 15, Koval, the 7-footer, is the leading scorer right now for Central Arkansas. He's got 9 points. Make that Kamba now is the leading scorer. He's got 11. And there he is, looking at his back, number 10 there.
Nick Garth is back into the game. For the Cardinals, maybe he can bring some offensive firepower, knocking down some 3-pointers.
Cardinals pick one up. Back quickly the other way is Weisbrod. Nice left-hand layup.
Good hustle there by Weisbrod. I mean, he's the leading scorer, and he's the workhorse right now for the Cardinals throughout this game. He's going to beat you down the court every time if you give him that opportunity.
Kamba loses it, and it's going to go off his foot, out of bounds. It'll be Lamar possession.
Back-to-back consistent defensive plays there for the Cardinals, being able to force some turnovers, and hopefully they can help them offensively.
Got to wonder what's going on with Jordan Howard again. Is it just because he's not producing, or is it? I mean, he's got one personal foul, so he's not in any kind of foul trouble. Boy, Nick Garth trying to force the issue that time. There's a look at Russ Pinnell. Not happy. He's going to put Howard back into the ball game. Also going to call it.
He's hustled up and down the court. He's beating guys to the basket in a half-court set, and he's playing phenomenal defense. So you got to tip your hat to this young man because he's going to fight for you to the end.
Nick Garth's going to give the Cardinals a lead here in the second half. They led by as many as 5 in the first half. Actually, I believe it was 7 in the first half. Of course, that evaporated as we went to the break. And then Central Arkansas came out hard, but the Cardinals have kind of put something together here themselves.
It's one of those afternoon Saturday games, Dan. This is going to go down to the wire. We know that both teams will come into this afternoon's game with a high shooting offensive team and teams, and it just seems like before you know it, it's another three-pointer attempt by the big man. So we just anticipate this thing going down to the wire.
Nice outlet pass there by Howard. Ouch. Really? Charge foul. It's going to go against Noel, and that after he released the ball on the pass.
And you know where that comes from? It comes from DeAndre Jones being aggressive all game. I mean, the freshman has been pesky against the point guards. You have Noel and you have Frenchwood in the game, and DeAndre Jones has done an outstanding job defensively against these guys taking charge, giving up his body.
And, you know, I think a lot of times we get hung up on point production, and we forget, boy, easy one inside for Jordan Howard. Nice pass from the big guy. Oh, Nick Garth with a finger roll that doesn't go. Howard again, but this time knocked out by Noel. What I was going to say was so many times we get hung up on point production, you know, on offense. We forget how important a charge can be and how it can change the momentum of a game. And it was funny because you were saying that DeAndre Jones had a smile on his face. You could almost tell the satisfaction was as good as making a basket.
Yeah, and he was smiling at Noel, letting him know that, hey, he's going to be there all game. And good block there.
Wow, nice block.
Here comes the push.
By Howard. This time it goes in for Noel. Cardinals trying to bring a little bit of pressure, not a whole lot. Jones wide open for the three and buries it.
As the tempo starting to pick up now, Dan, in this game, it looks like the Cardinals are finding themselves in the dogfight with the Bears coming back and forth, scoring buckets.
Nick Garth, can he answer? Nope. Howard pulls it down and pushes it back the other way. He'll shoot from the wing. Won't make it this time, and it'll be Nick Garth, one of the shortest players on the court, coming down with the rebound. Howard with it. Yeah, nice. That's what you want to see right there from Jordan Foster, is not only the follow-up rebound, but going back with that left hand.
I'll tell you one thing, Dan. He has really stepped in huge for Josh and Zecor this afternoon. The freshman and Foster, where then Zecor spent the majority of his time on the bench. Jordan Foster's really stepped up on both sides of the court for the Cardinals this afternoon.
Nick Garth with his second consecutive, but bad pass. Tried to go deep. Howard, if that one goes down, that was a circus shot right there. That was unbelievable. I'm not sure how that went down, but for Howard, Jordan Howard, that is his 9th point of the afternoon.
And as things starting to pick up again, you got to make better decisions if you're the Cardinals, and especially at the point guard and guard position. You can't give up those type of turnovers, which turns into transitional points for the Bears.
Well, I can't believe that was close for Weisbrod picking up a foul. Jones comes up with it to the big 7-footer, but he misses it. But I believe a foul's going to be called.
I'll tell you one thing, DeAndre Jones, this freshman has been impressive.
He really is. I'm with you. And not only with his movement, but also with his peripheral vision, his ability to pick up the player that's open.
Yes, indeed. He's not intimidated by this upper class at all. From his guard standpoint, you got Torrey Noel going against him, Jory Frenchwood. He's attacking this Cardinals defense. He's having some success passing the ball as well as defensively.
Got to be a lot of Texas coaches wondering, how did this guy get away from us? I'm talking about Hayden Koval. It's out of Prosper, Texas. Way above his average here today. He's already at 11 points on the afternoon. Almost doubled his normal point production. Koval. Noel, wow, nice. Nice.
That's a good opportunity for a pick and roll right there for the Cardinals. Torrey Noel finishing up with the layup. Much needed layup there to help the Cardinals tie this game up.
Got away from him. Going to be a goaltending call. He reached up through the net, so. Nice play, though, that time. As you saw Jordan, the freshman out of Lafayette, come over to his teammate and say, "My bad."
Jory Frenchwood is into the game for Torrey Noel. For Nick Garr. So let's see what Frenchwood can bring to the table from the Cardinals offense.
Boscia breaks to the basket, but he can't find it, so he comes back out to the top. There's Frenchwood, 32. Wow, nice move by Torrey Noel. Found his opening and just used that first step.
Being patient pays off as Torrey Noel stood strong there in the paint. As everything cleared out, he finished up the layup. And he's having success attacking the basket on that right-hand side before this time up.
Boscia, I believe he's going to be called on the foul that time. Totals again. At this point, he's got 10. I'm sorry, that he's got 11. And again, here's a player that scores averages better than 23. I don't know if you know this, Lemont. He's got a brother that plays at Marquette as well, younger brother.
We talked about this game going back and forth offensively, and we've been very entertained for what we saw so far from both teams. I mean, Torrey Noel has had his handful with the freshman and DeAndre Jones.
Central Arkansas now going out into a zone and going without their 7-footer. Boy, nice play there by Boscia to get up and get a tip on that ball. Torrey Noel tries a prayer and doesn't go. Quickly back the other way, 2-on-2. Howard's going to pull up. Cans that one. I'm talking about, the net didn't even move.
And here he comes. Southland Conference top scorer, 23 points a game. He's past warming up. He's hot now. He wants the ball in his hand every time he comes down the court. And the Bears will feed him the basketball as he wants his team to get this victory on the road and get back in the win column.
Meanwhile, the Cardinals have to find a way to get back in. There you go. But Weisbrod forcing that one a little bit. Cardinals need a stop here. Looks like maybe Russ Pennell's going with a little shorter, quicker lineup. Howard looks at it but doesn't take it. Almost got my own rebound there.
Man, you're in the game, huh?
Almost got in the game. There you see the turnovers. Lamar with 11. UCA with 8. Weisbrod right in front of us with the play-in. 10-minute mark. Central Arkansas by 4. Jordan goes down. Wow, Garth. I mean, that's like, I don't know, basketball geometry, trying to figure out, how high do you have to go to be able to make that go back in?
The arc on that shot was perfect timing. Only a shooter on the score knows how to do something like that.
True enough.
Time in the paint.
Nice rebound. Nick Garth making sure somebody from his team had the rebound. Garth feeling it too, but this time he's off the mark. Kind of see some of Howard's athleticism when he makes that move. Not just the speed, but his ability left and right hand.
To be able to switch hands and be able to score at will from each side, different angles. I mean, that's a skill set that you develop each and every week, and throughout his career. He's worked on that, and that's the reason why he's the top scorer in the Southland Conference.
Well, so many times, though, when you think of a three-point guy, you don't think necessarily of a penetrator. You think of the guy who's only going to, he's going to spend all of his time outside the arc waiting for the ball. And this guy doesn't have a problem driving the lane. He doesn't have a problem, Yeah, he likes to shoot a three, but he doesn't have a problem shooting from, inside the arc as well. 85% free throw shooting. That's the guy you want at the line.
Every time. 85%.
Central Arkansas managing to create a bit of a gap here as we hit the 9-minute mark.
And they switched their defense. They went from a man coverage to a 2-3 zone, which is really keeping the Cardinals. Until both hit that three-point. It kept the offense past the three-point line.
Kind of that idea, okay, you're not going to go man on me. I'll take advantage of it. Schmidt looking to go inside to Howard. Going to have a foul away from the ball that time. I believe it's going to be against Joey Frenchwood. He can afford it. That's his first. Also into the game is Avery Sullivan, the 6'8 freshman out of Pflugerville. Big body going up against Schmidt. Number 22 for UCA, Tanner Schmidt, 6'8", 220 out of Buffalo, New York. So it's a good matchup there. There's Howard. Look at that. I mean, it's just one of those things when it goes, right?
And he's feeling it. You can definitely tell it. I mean, once the ball hits his hand, he's looking right at the basket, a different mindset than we saw early in the first half when he touched the basketball. As soon as he gets the ball in his hand, he's looking directly at the basket, and he's shooting a high percentage shot.
Wow, what a great move right there by Colton Weisbrod. Splits defenders, waits, and is patient enough to go up with it. Yeah, I love watching a pure shooter, and that to me is kind of what Howard is, Jordan Howard. The right hand, if they're right-handed, it's always left dangling up at the top. You know what I'm saying? They push it, and it's just kind of like, okay, it's almost like an exclamation point. They just leave it dangling there. Weisbrod going to be called with a foul, I believe. I believe, if I'm looking at this right, Jordan Foster I believe he's one three-pointer away from becoming the all-time record holder in the Southland Conference for three-pointers. Cardinals going to catch a break on that one. The Bears come away empty-handed and with the foul. Seven-team fouls on Lamar, 4 on Central Arkansas. Nick Garth Short from the long one. Weisbrod comes in for the tip in, doesn't get it. I don't know if I was thinking he might have been concerned there for a second about who the foul was called on, but it wasn't him. So he'll go to the line.
Colt Weisbrod on the line for the Cardinals.
And Weisbrod did an excellent job freeing himself up against the defender. You see in this replay here, he gets away from the defender, level his body. I mean, he just angled his body right at the right spot to be able to tip that ball back into the basket and draw the foul.
And then converts the free throw.
And that's what's the most important part. With less than 8 minutes to go here in the second half, Dan, you talked about free throw being important for the Cardinals throughout this half. And Weisbrod goes 1 for 1.
Yeah, you get a nail biter like this, it can be the difference. There's a freebie for the 7-footer that time. Koval
catches the freshman
beating up on the Cardinals. Wow, rat-tatting out for Corey Boscia. Howard will take it from downtown. Wow.
And there he is, everyone, the Southland Conference top scorer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see that and you know why. That's an NBA three, easy. He is now, I correct myself, he is now 1 away. He needed 2 coming in. Now he is 1 away from being the all-time leader 3 points in the Southland. Garth tries to find it, but he has gone cold. Big guy, can he do it? Nope, he's short. Got a tie ball there.
And let's examine the last couple of series for the Cardinals. I mean, they're struggling offensively. I mean, without Colt Weisbrod getting, rebounds and opportunities at the free throw line, there's no one else scoring the basketball, Dan. And it's frustrating for Tick Price and his offense because here you have a team that's trying to get back in the win column. Very tough, team at home. But then you have the Bears and their guard and Jordan Howard is lighting it up, and he's 1 3-point away from being the all-time 3-point leader in the conference.
Some physical activity going on that free throw. Miss. Cardinals down by 5 to the Bears here at home. Oh, crowd can't believe the call. It's going to be against Frenchwood, an offensive foul. His second personal.
Yeah, that's one of those tick-for-tack calls there.
But it's also one of those things, you can't let that get in your head. I mean, you got to, it's over now. You got to come back and you got to get back in this ball game offensively. And Howard, as we mentioned, with the ball right there, double teamed. Told you he could do it in the second half, and he did. He's now 22 points on the afternoon. Jones going to be called for the foul against Frenchwood. Russ Pinnell, the head coach, up off the bench for Central Arkansas, shouting some instructions.
The concern for Coach Tick Price right now is some offensive weapon. He got Josh and Zekor back in the game. Hopefully he brings that energy and that much-needed offensive play in the front court for the Cardinals here in the second half.
Interesting, as we've said all game long, that you have in Zekor, who is player of the week. Nice critical 3 for Joey Frenchwood to make it a 2-point ball game. But player of the week in the Southland Conference has been riding the pine majority of the game.
I'm going to have to base it on chemistry. And I think chemistry was off right now for Josh and Zekor, and Coach Price noticed that early on, and he went with the guys he felt can keep him in this ball game. Hopefully you bring the big man back in with less than 6 minutes to go. Maybe he can give you some much added points that you've been lacking throughout this game.
Well, they're certainly going to need it now. Unruh will go to the line. That'll be third on Frenchwood. Unruh with the first one. That'll pad Central Arkansas's lead. Tanner Smith will come in. The big guy, Hayden Koval, will take a seat. Koval has contributed big time, 12 points on the afternoon. Unruh with the second as well, and it's a 4-point game. Getting it inside. Going to pick up the foul as well. Well, that was a determined Colton Weisbrod right there.
And that's what you need. You need your seniors and your leadership to step up right here in the second half, and Colton Weisbrod is the guy to do that for you. I mean, you can't allow this game to get away from you if you're Coach Price. You can't allow this game to get away from you if you're Colton Weisbrod. And Colton Weisbrod knows how to step up and be in this position. His leadership skills need to step up here throughout the second half.
Weisbrod buries what becomes a three-point play. Closing in on the 5-minute mark here. 1 point difference here in the Montaigne Center. Unruh with the height advantage takes it to the hoop and gets his basket over Frenchwood. Nick Garth will shoot the three and will not make it, but gets his own rebound, follows it up, but it won't go.
Well, it's going to come down to the free throws, Dan. I mean, if Nick Garth had a wide open opportunity at that three-pointer and didn't go down, but you got a second chance, and now you get to knock down these two free throws and get your team back into this game.
Rims it out. She said something Lamar can ill afford. Let's look at that replay on the foul. Garth making the second one. Under 5 to play.
Good hand.
Colton Weisbrod with a great pickoff. Takes it to the basket and gets it. Wants the foul, but he's not going to get that.
And like that, Colton Weisbrod brings his team back into this game and brings some energy into the Montaigne Center. The seniors stepping up here tonight, putting this team on his shoulders and bringing much needed in. Aggressive Bears team on the road. It's going to come down to, this conference is very unpredictable. You never know how it's going to turn out later in the season.
That's a big surprise so far is that SFA lost their first conference game. Everybody kind of thought that might have been a team that would go undefeated. I mean, they were that strong pre-Southland, but they came back to earth, and as have a number of other teams, and then you've had some upstart teams as well. Nick Garth wide open. He'll take it. He will. He's been cold, though. I got a foul on Nick Price. Tick Price is maybe saying, let's think about this a little bit. Let's run a little offense.
I believe you need to get the ball to
Ooh.
Weisbrod has been your consistent scoring leader here throughout the game, and you got to feed him because he has the energy and he has the rhythm offensively.
Boy, Nick Garth looked like he was going to pull the trigger again. Weisbrod out of position to get the rebound. He's giving a look over at the round split. And Zekor, again, hasn't seen a whole lot of action this afternoon. And point production lacking since probably the first 5 minutes of the game. Howard, nice fall-away jumper. Won't go this time. And Zekor doing what he should be doing. That's pulling down the big rebound. Frenchwood. Well, I think Noel knew it. I think that, Bosha knew it. He stepped on the line, on the sideline. Both teams coming up empty-handed here.
And Dan, here's my analysis of what the Cardinals need to do is don't rely too much on the jump shots right now. You can't get any better looks than what Nick Garth has had the last couple of series.
True.
He's been wide open for three-point. Give the ball to your big man. Let him work inside out. The jump shots would come if you feed the ball to Colton Weisbrod, and maybe Josh and Zekor can find some rhythm offensively. But don't rely too much on the jump shot right now with less than 3 minutes to go in this ball game.
And you're going to have to come up with some stops. You're going to have to play some defense if you're Lamar. If you're Central Arkansas, I think you're doing what you should be doing. Spread it out. I'm not sure you want to see a 7-footer necessarily shoot the three-pointer, but if you can bury it like that, Goval now with his fourth three-pointer in the afternoon.
Like you said, this is a steal. How this young man sneaks out of the state of Texas and go to Central Arkansas. He's a phenomenal player. Good job, Johnson.
That's what's been missing for Lamar, is in Zekor's ability to take the ball to the hoop.
Southland Conference Player of the Week has found a way to get a field goal here in the second half. He needs much more. He needs more buckets like that in order for the Cardinals to get this victory.
Cardinals trying to keep Howard away from an open shot. He throws it away. I think he thought Jones was there, but instead it winds up going all the way to the bench.
Give credit to the defensive specialist there in Bosha. Was able to frustrate there Jordan Howard.
Yeah, under 2 minutes to play. 1 point ball game here in the Montaigne Center. Beaumont, Texas, home for the Lamar Cardinals, hosting Central Arkansas, and what has been a thriller to this point. No reason to believe it'll do anything in the final minute and a half. Frenchwood way outside with a three.
You needed a huge shot right there. The senior, Jory Frenchwood, knocked down the three-pointer for the Cardinals, pushing the lead down to 77-75.
One thing you can't go if you're Central Arkansas, this is not the time to get panicked. It's just the time to look for your shooter, and they've got it in his hands. Right at a minute left to play, and foul's going to be called against Jordan Foster.
Reach-in foul there on the freshman. Caught out of position.
And any other time of the game, you probably wouldn't consider that to be such a big deal. I'm okay, he picks up a foul, but the problem being that you're right at a minute left to play. You're in the bonus, so you're going to give him free shots, and you're putting in the hands of the guy that shoots almost 90% from the free throw line. And that's why he shoots 90%. I mean, there's no doubt when he goes to the free throw line. Foster will come out, and back will come in Zekor. And, I'm not trying to read anything into this, but it makes me wonder if there may not be some physical reason that Josh and Zekor has not been seeing as many minutes as you might have expected here.
I mean, looking at the eye test, he looks like...
I find it just a little unusual that, he hasn't been in. I don't think it's been rhythm. I don't think the guy's been in long enough to have a whole lot of rhythm. I mean, it's been very short spurts that he's been playing. But again, maybe, he's seen something in Foster. Either way, the Cardinals tie this one up 77 with 53 left to play, 17 on the shot clock. Frenchwood takes it, but he's going to be fouled.
And that's a smart play there by the senior, Jory Frenchwood. Caught the defender up in the air, leaned into him, forcing the foul because the team is in the bonus, so he gets a chance to go to the free throw line and take the lead here late in the second half. Outstanding job there by the senior point guard.
Frenchwood with 6 on the afternoon. And Frenchwood about a 50% free throw shooter. Chance to... we're showing 76%. Does make the second. Cardinals with a 1 point lead. 45 seconds left on the clock.
Where's the help defense?
Break open. Nobody helping out at all. Easy basket.
No backside help defense cost the Cardinals a wide open layup as they call a timeout.
Dick Price not happy. Obviously want to talk about that, how that happened. Probably also wants to formulate a little offense as well. Talk about what are we going to do. We got 32 seconds left. Because, you and I both know in college basketball, 32 seconds is an eternity. All you got to do is make a basket, foul, point. It could take a long time. But at the same time, on both of these benches, you got to have that discussion. Okay, quick basket, long basket. What happens if they make the basket? Who's back? Who prevents that last play from happening again? So there's somebody on defense.
I think the focus is for the Cardinals mainly is defense right now. If you go Price, you have offensive weapons. And Colton Weisbrod, he's the leading scorer throughout this game. You got Rory Frenchwood finding some rhythm here late in the second half. But he has to be more concerned defensively. Giving up plays like we just saw without no help defense, you're going to get beat deep like that late in this game because it costs you. You're not going to get the victory if he's going to give those type of points.
Right.
So he's going to address offensively real quick, but he's going to tell his guys before they break that huddle, let's step up defensively. We're going to get buckets. And once we get this field goal and get this lead, let's defend on the backside and get this victory.
Right. You also have the opportunity here where you're going to have a lopsided situation where it's not going to be a basket. It's going to be a point difference between these two teams as it is right now. Of course, you also have the chance of the three-point, changing the equation as well. Cardinals, will they go quickly? Or are they going to run some offense, try to get it inside? Weisbrod can't make the basket, but he will get a chance to go to the free throw line. But again, not much time coming off the clock either.
A couple of things we talked about, Dan, is coming true right now. Free throws, late in the second half we talked about, it's going to come down to free throws. And giving the ball to your best player, and that's Colton Weisbrod. That's right what they did out of the timeout. Let's see what the senior steps up here at the free throw line.
Ripped it. You know, you got guys who just they relish the idea of being in this position. Put me at the line, you know, or give me the ball when there's no. I want to be the guy who takes the tough shot. I want to be the guy that feels the pressure. And he buries the second one as well. So again, we got a 1-point ball game here.
This is huge for the Cardinals. I think the defense has to step up. Backside help defense with the timeout right there by the Bears.
Well, you know, yeah, Russ Spinelli's he wants to.
Strong defense from their Cardinals here at home.
Well, you would, if there were any time, you would certainly expect the crowd to get into this one. And Jones is going to take it up top. And again, there's man-to-man defense. Torrey Noel, Jones gets away, but Noel gets it knocked away, but it goes out of bounds on Noel. Great defense, though.
Outstanding help defense there, or recovery defense by Torrey Noel. Got deep.
He did.
Came back and knocked the ball out of the freshman's hand.
Jones got behind him, but he just knocked it out from behind.
Watch the back screen. Watch the back screen as guys attack the basket.
Howard, the man you want to have it with seconds left, shoots the three. It's blocked. Won't go. Rebound. I'm still trying to figure out. I believe they're going to call that a foul. It's going to be a two. See how he handles the pressure. He'll shoot two. The Cardinals could afford to give him one, but if he makes a second, for all intents and purpose. And there's the first. And I mean, he ripped it. It didn't touch anything but the net.
Didn't look nervous at all.
Nope.
Your freshman. Oh, he misses it.
Missed that one, though. And we're going to have an OT.
This one you think he was going to be over. And the freshman goes 1 for 1 from the free throw line to give Tick Price and company the opportunity to survive here at home.
And Zekor gets the better of the 7-footer on the tip-off. And Zekor gets a handle on it, pushes it outside. Boscia misses it. And Jones comes up with it to Howard. 7-footer, not this time. Weisbrod going to be a foul on Hoba.
That's his fourth personal foul.
Shakes it off. Boy, he got an elbow to the top of the head that time.
Yeah, I got hit in the eye as well. And I mean, Colton Weisbrod just want to be so aggressive on both sides of the basket as he earns opportunity. Both teams are in a double bonus. So throughout the game, see him right on the right side of his face.
Ouch. Kind of raked him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Weisbrod makes the first one, and for Weisbrod, that will push him to 28 points on the night. And he gets the second as well, so Cardinals get the first 2 of the OT. Oh, man, there's that again. Easy basket for Arkansas.
Again, where's the back help? I mean, you got Josh and Zekor down there. You got Colton Weisbrod getting beat. He has to call out that he's beat so his defender or his teammate can help him. And if you're Josh and Zekor, you got to be able to see that coming. You can't give up those type of plays.
Still not afraid to shoot the 3. That was Boscia short. You can see what we're talking about. Arkansas doesn't come into the paint. Everybody stays out and forces them either to come out or to give up the easy basket. And that time, nothing easy about it. 3-pointer there, and we're now talking about 85-82. Central Arkansas up on top by virtue of that 3. Going inside in Zekor, takes advantage of the 7-footer, doesn't make the basket, but he will get a chance to do it at the free throw line.
Fouls on Koval is third, personal foul is third.
As things start to settle down here in this overtime, if you're the Cardinals, you got to find a way to keep feeding the ball inside to Josh and Zekor as well as Colton Weisbrod. Go inside out. You can't, but on the defensive side of the ball, Dan, you can't give up big 3-pointers. You can't give up easy basket opportunities because that just kills your confidence.
And you can't give up. You can't give up free shots.
Yeah.
You go to the line, you're going to have to make them in OT. And Zekor misses both of them. So the Cardinals come up empty. And again, trail by 3 with 3:12 left to play in the overtime period. And you know, if your other teams, seems to me, if you're watching this, that's going to be a travel. But if you're another team watching the Southland Conference and you see how well the spread's working against Lamar, I would have to think they're going to see it a lot more often as we go through the season.
Yeah, a lot of teams are going to review these tapes and they're going to see how the Bears had an opportunity to aggressively attack the Cardinals defensively by spreading them out. Now with the score 85-82, if you're the Cardinals, you got to find a way to get an easy bucket here.
Going to be a foul against the big man, against Weisbrod. He'll go to the line. Yeah, 3-point difference. And again, if you're Lamar, you cannot afford to miss these free throws. I mean, you already have lost 2. There's Weisbrod making the move, and you see the big guy slapping the backboard there.
Just think about that, Dan, what you just said about the free throws. If Josh and Zekor would have hit those 2,
sure,
the game would be tied. Right?
It would be. So even if Weisbrod converts on this second, it will still be a 1-point advantage for Arkansas, and he misses it. So now it's a 2-point game. 85-83, Central Arkansas. 2:28 left to play. That one goes out of bounds. Just a missed pass by Unruh, trying to get it inside. See if the Cardinals can take advantage of that miscue. Closing in on the 2-minute mark. Again, the Cardinals down 85-83. We apologize for not having the score on the screen for you, but we have some issues going on. In and out for Frenchwood. Fans wanting a travel, but they're not going to get it. Going to be a jump ball, possession arrow for Central Arkansas, but good hustle by Weisbrod.
Weisbrod is hustling on both sides of the court, keeping his team, trying to keep his team into this game in overtime. It's going to come down to who's going to out-hustle who here in the Montaigne Center. Right now, Weisbrod is trying to get his team back into this game and trying to get this victory.
Cardinals staying with a man-to-man, a bit of a mismatch there between Unruh and Frenchwood.
And the Bears switched up their offense. They used to, they were spreading them out, and they went with a different style of offense there. And
Gumbo over the back.
Yeah, it plays right in the hands of the Cardinals defense. I tell you one thing, if this game comes down and the Cardinals win it, it's going to be because of the heart and soul of Colton Weisbrod, the senior.
I think it's. I'm with you. I mean, I think it's fair to say he's carried the load without a doubt. 31 points on the evening, but you've also, again, you've got to convert those free throws, and Weisbrod is 11 of 16 from the free throw line. Will be headed back to the charity stripe. Kamba is fouled out of this game. The senior out of Calgary, Canada, leaves the game, and he does so with 15 points. 85-83. Weisbrod misses again. You see he shoots 67% from the field, but dead quiet. He does make the second, so it's a 1-point game now. 85-84, Central Arkansas. 1:30 left on the clock. $11 on a call away from the ball.
Josh.
On Nzikor away from the ball.
Josh Nzikor called the foul as a freshman. 7-footers coming across the middle. You have to understand that right now both teams are going to double bonus. Any fouls like that will earn an opportunity at the free throw line to Josh Nzikor.
There's a look at Nzikor. He has, according to our numbers, I believe he has fouled out. He has fouled out of the game. And Nzikor again coming in on a week when he was named the Southland Conference Player of the Week, less than his average performance here. In fact, he had 8 points on the day, and he will take a seat. And in for the Cardinals, they're going to give up some height, and they're going to go with shooters. Right now, I mean, you look on the floor, you've got essentially 4 guards and Colton Weisbrod for Lamar. Seven-footer makes the second one. So Koval with 16 points on the night, and it is a 2-point game with 1:15 left to play. 84-86. Lamar down by 2. Weisbrod makes a move on the 7-footer. Gets it to go. And it's a 1-point game now. It's all tied up at 86, actually.
Again, Coach Weisbrod is putting his team on his back here at home. The senior stepped up big offensively throughout the game and also in this overtime.
But a rotation, this one's going to be off, but
good hands.
On the hands, good hands. Down on the floor goes a couple of players. Nick Garth with his ball in his hand. Tick Price trying to call something here.
Whatever they do, Dan, go aggressively to the basket because you know you can earn a foul and opportunity to go to the
7-footer is going to have the ball and call a timeout. They want to travel, but they're not going to get it.
And he can tell you that. I'm pretty sure he's honest on that perspective. But it's times where his team stepped up, and his senior, especially Colton Weisbrod, has been very huge for him throughout this game.
23 left on the clock. All tied at 86. The man with the ball is certainly the one you would like to have shooting this one. Leading scorer in Southland Conference is going to try to find a screen.
Good defense. Good help defense by Joy Frenchwood.
3 is on the way. It's short. Frenchwood throws up a prayer, and it is off. So we'll go to yet another overtime. Yeah, you know what the difference in this game really has been? 3-point shooting, but it's the fact that the Cardinals are 4 of 28. Central Arkansas is 11 of 28. And that's what kept them in the game, just like this. Barry. And I mean, Thatch Unruh didn't hesitate. Three-point ball game. Weisbrod takes it to the hoop and gets fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line. Unruh with 9 points on the night.
Smart play there by Colton Weisbrod, the leader. Goes to his dominant hand, which is the right hand. Has a 7-footer freshman on him. He knows that the aggressive man wins every time going towards the basket, especially being in double bonus.
Well, but by the time he gets here, he's taking on 3 guys.
I don't think he's concerned with that. I mean, he's up body strength enough with 35 points this afternoon. He's going to step up big for his team.
After missing a couple of free throws in his last opportunity in the first overtime, he comes through with 2. Even at that, the Cardinals are still down by 1. Look at Howard from way out there.
Good box out there by Joey Frenchwood, which allows Torrey Noel to get it.
Nick Garth fires the 3. He has been off tonight.
Yeah, he has to find another opportunity or another way to make points. He can't rely too much on the three-pointer. If it's not there and he's not feeling it, attack the basket. I mean, take a page out of Colton Weisbrod book and just attack the basket and get to the free throw line.
Call's going to be on Torrey Noel. I think what they were hoping for was a travel call, but Jones will go to the line.
I guess it's safe to say that DeAndre Jones is going to be a player in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, I think so too.
Freshman, you can just see him right here beat Noel off the dribble. No help defense again from the Cardinals. One-on-one. Good concentration and follow through there by the freshman to finish off with the layup.
Yeah, just keep waiting for somebody from one of the Lamar players step in front.
Oh.
But by the time it happens, I guess it's just too late. And Central Arkansas stretching out their lead here in the second O-time. Frenchwood with a 3, won't go. Weisbrod is going to pick up a foul as he knocks down the 7-footer. And Koval will go to the line, and Weisbrod is only his second personal foul, but more importantly, the opportunity for Central Arkansas to really stretch this out.
And if you're Colton Weisbrod, you have to understand if a 7-footer hits the ground as hard as he did, someone fouled.
Again, Koval has 18 points on the night and is 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Tick Price deciding he'll go with a little height now. He'd stayed short, but he's going to come back in now with Jordan Foster, the 6'9 freshman out of Lafayette, checking in. As Torrey Noel takes a seat. Frenchwood with the rebound. 5-point difference now. 3:37 left to play. I guess if you're Lamar, you kind of have to resist the temptation to pull the trigger on the 3 every time you come down. Garth decides he won't shoot the 3, but can't make that one either. Yeah, his confidence is gone. I agree with you.
Nick Garth talked about him finding another opportunity to score baskets. Can't rely on the three-pointer. But you can just tell as he attacked the basket, he just locked that up with the prayer, hoping that it would go into the basket.
So they'll send Jordan Foster to the line for Lamar. Foster 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Cardinals certainly need the free ones if they can get it. Foster bounces it hard off the back. 6 points on the afternoon to go along with 6 rebounds. Puts down the second.
1-and-1 there for the freshman Foster. Now the Cardinals need to step up defense. You can't allow him across the half court taking his time. Put some pressure on him if you're Nick Garth.
Howard can't make it, but great tip back by Mondesir. Pretty much uncontested.
Things are starting to slip away for the Cardinals defensively. If they don't get any help or try to step things up, the Bears might steal this game in double overtime.
6-point difference here. Nick Garth doesn't have an open look. Foster doesn't want it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. three.
Bad shot.
Frenchwood, bad shot.
Shot clock violation.
And it turns out to be a shot clock violation as he didn't get it off in time. That just can't happen.
Bad execution all the way around. Guys didn't want to take the opportunity to take the shot. You saw Foster looking for someone to drop the ball off to, and Joey Frenchwood had to make something out of nothing. He shot an air ball. So the Cardinals starting to fall asleep here in the second overtime. Maybe it's a little bit too much for them. But if they want to get this victory here at home in front of their fans, they got to find a way to step up.
9 seconds, they're going to want to slow it down, take up all they can. Foster Howard thought he made that one.
Push it.
Both players going to the floor. Weisbrod taking a second.
Yeah, he's probably just tired and wore out from a lot of wear and tear on that body and
weight on his shoulders.
More than 35 points. How many points?
Yeah, he's got 36 as he goes to the line, and he goes to the line limping.
His third personal foul is fifth.
But he's tough. He's tough as nails.
Well, he'll shake it off. And Koval has fouled out, so he'll take a seat. But a good night for the big fella as he winds up with 18 points. Not only 18 points, the guy goes 3 of 6 from the three-point arc, 5 of 9 from the floor. Weisbrod makes the first free throw. Still a 5-point advantage for Central Arkansas here with just under 2 minutes left to play, and he will get the second off the front of the rim. Going to need a stop here, Lamont.
Oh, yeah. Much needed stop.
And you need it pretty quick. You don't want to let him run too much off the clock. Nine seconds on the shot clock. They're going to take it all before they take a shot. Jones way outside, buries a three, and may have just put the nail in the coffin.
Freshman. Big-time freshman stepping up, making big-time plays on the road. DeAndre Jones, remember that name, everyone, because he's going to be a star in the Southland Conference.
Weisbrod's going to be called for the foul. He doesn't like it, but he was over the back. And that's going to send it back to the other end with 1:18 left to go. You see Russ Pennell up off the bench. Some instruction going on there. Gotta wonder how that didn't go. Just a little strong, I guess, off the glass. Trying to do everything he can to keep his team in this one. But it seems to be slipping away. Chance to make it an 8-point difference here for Unruh, who misses both. Cardinals are going to need to get something pretty quick here. Frenchwood way out above the line. Can't afford to waste a whole lot. Garth will take it. Misses it.
Ice cold.
All night.
Yeah. 1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
And it'll take a miracle for the home team now.
All-time three-point leader. It's ice cold here at home.
Once again, don't forget, post-game coming up. Be able to check out what's on the mind of Tick Price and his players. You go to facebook.com/BigRedSN. And that should be the game. 33 seconds left, 9-point difference. Got to shoot it, and he's not. Wow. Not even confident enough to pull the trigger on it outside. That says a lot.
No, his confidence is low. Coach Price has to be frustrated, has his team just let this thing sneak away from him late in the second half, double overtime. They need to regroup as they prepare for another home game here next week.
And that is the ball game. Cardinals will let it end this way, down by 9. Central Arkansas breaking a double loss stretch. They wind up